Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will try to get into the deeper psyche of the planetary functioning or the vibration of the planets. Guys, when it comes down to decoding any of the combination in our chart, I always stick to the basics. That is always and it has always been my thumb rule, which is planet represents energy. Planetary zodiac sign placement tells about that in which capacity, in which style the planet will manifest results. House placement tells about from where exactly the results will come from, and it's the nakshatra only which tells about the true intent of the planetary functioning. Now guys, in this video we will try to understand the nature or the temperament of the nakshatra, which becomes very important because lately the kind of trend which I am seeing in the consultations which are coming to me, even when I went to like Seattle, I went to Toronto, when I met people, and I was trying to understand that, okay, what is going wrong? People who are living in these cities, they are like making good money, they are independent, but still they're not able to find a partner, or in those cases where people are heading into divorce, all of that is happening so fast. So is astrology not working, or what exactly is happening? Because guys, these all are the areas where you could have predicted with accuracy like few decades back, because over there at the time of getting married, the whole family used to have a strong say. Even if let's say for example, God forbid, marriage did not work out, now you want to part ways, over there as well the whole taking the opinion and consent from the elderly members of the family used to have a major say. I still remember I came across a case of a domestic abuse over there. Both the people in the marriage were somehow willing to part ways, to get separated, but even when the case reached the court, even the judge kept on asking them, or even gave them few months to decide, that they still, if they have a change of the mind, change of the heart, the marriage can still be saved. But these days the way things are like going down the drain, so I thought, and when I did the whole analysis, you will be surprised, I did not find the answer in terms of the 7th house to be afflicted, 7th lord to be afflicted, or in the Navamsa chart as well. Somehow the temperament of the nakshatra I found as a common connecting loop. Because guys, when it comes down to getting into the deeper nitty-gritty of the temperament or the nature of the nakshatra, we used to take it into consideration generally at a time when I'm suggesting an auspicious muhurat to someone. But even at a time of doing the analysis, and especially in the matters of your career, especially in the matters of the childbirth or marriage, to be precise, the marriage, the temperament of the nakshatra of your 7th lord becomes very important. So guys, in this video we will try to understand that based on the different categories on which the 27 nakshatras can be classified, so what does that category tells about? And yes guys, before that, just a quick business promotion time. And I do not know why the people where I use this studio to record and all, he was telling me, like when I came here, yeah, you are making too many videos, like too much of the comedy gigs you are doing. I was like, who told you that I'm doing comedy? I'm doing astrology. He said, you are an astrologer? I do not know why people get this impression. Okay guys, so if you want to book your astrological analysis, matchmaking, like you want to know how the next year 2025 is going to be for you, you can go to the description of this video and you can book your reading with me. If you want to learn astrology through Zoom classes, any of the occult subject, you can write an email to me. Now very soon I will be starting the in-person classes in Vancouver, and there is going to be an audit class for that. So if you want to have one complimentary class to audit my teaching style and all, so the notification is going to be soon out on my social media handles. If you are living in Vancouver, you can attend that. And I'll be coming to Los Angeles on January 14th till 16th. The prices are obviously, it's like almost half, not almost, it is half than what I generally charge for my Zoom consultation readings, because I actually want to have a one-on-one interaction with my community and all. So if you are in LA and you want to get your in-person analysis done, you can also write an email to me. So okay guys, now we will start our discussion, and the whole discussion is going to be on the basis of, I will be primarily talking on two planes. The first is going to be the nature or the temperament of the nakshatras and how it is going to be influencing you, especially if your ascendant or ascendant lord is going to be placed in these kind of temperament nature of the nakshatra, if your moon is going to be placed basis in which temperament or nature it is placed, and your seventh lord in which temperament that nakshatra where your seventh lord is placed is falling, that can give you deeper analysis or deeper understanding that how you have to behave while dealing with this specific area of your life. So guys, the very first category is the Dhruva or the Sthir nakshatra. Now in this category comes Rohini nakshatra, and comes the all the three Uttara nakshatra like Uttara Falguni, Uttarashadha and the Uttar Bhadrapada. Now what does this Dhruva or this Sthir nakshatra tells about? The temperament especially. So guys, it has been generally seen that if you have any of your important placed in the Dhruva nakshatra, so that tells about that people who are going to have a very stable kind of mind. You will have that sort of conviction in your commitment, in your words, or we say this thing that these are among those people, even at a time of taking any important decision, they give lot of attention to the pros and cons, that what is going to be the outcome of their this action. And generally it has been seen that if your seventh lord is going to be placed in the Dhruva or the like Sthir nakshatra, it is generally considered as a good sign that you will attract or manifest that kind of partner in your life, in marriage, who is going to honor the value of stability, loyalty, staying kind of loyal in the relationship. So chances of that increase if your, for example, seventh lord is going to be placed in the Dhruva or the Sthir nakshatra. Now guys, that is a different case. Like let's say for example, if your seventh lord is going to be the planet Mars. Now if Mars is going to be placed in the Rohini nakshatra, in like any of these Uttara nakshatra, then even if at a time like something bad happens and the person is going to be offended, the person also might find it little bit hard to let go of that thing. But generally it has been seen that if your major concern is of being with someone who is going to bring that sort of stability in your life, the person who's going to be loyal and all, and especially guys in certain cases, like let's say for example, if in your case you are a Capricorn Lagna, your seventh lord becomes the planet Moon, and if Moon is going to be placed in the fifth house, it is exalted, being in the Taurus sign, it is placed in the house of the Purva Punya, and over and above that, if it is going to be placed in the Rohini nakshatra within the Taurus, this is a very strong combination that you will be with someone who is going to bring stability of the emotions in your life, and there might be some past life connection with this person as well. So that is about all the qualities of the Dhruva or the Sthir nakshatra. So guys, even if your 10th lord is going to be placed in any of these Dhruva or these Sthir nakshatra, so you will find that rather than being moving from one place to another place, if you're going to be working from a fixed place, from a fixed address, your business might flourish. This could be a case that even in the matters of you talk about the 4th lord's placement, you talk about the 11th lord's placement, any of the planet if in your chart is going to be placed in the Dhruva or the Sthir nakshatra, compatibility, stability and commitment is going to be very strong over there. Now guys, comes the next category or the next nature, which is about the Char or the Chanchal nakshatra, which we generally call at like the qualities of someone who's going to be a little bit fickle, someone who's going to be movable, someone who does not get stick to one thing and has this capacity to move on. So in that category comes the Punarvasu nakshatra, Swati nakshatra, Shravan nakshatra, Dhanishta nakshatra and the Satbhisha nakshatra. So guys, as the name suggests, like over here as well, there's not much of the vulnerability, and especially if you're like Mercury is going to be placed in any of these nakshatra, if like Moon is going to be placed, Jupiter is going to be placed, Venus is going to be placed, generally it has been seen that it can give someone a very friendly temperament, it can make you very likable. There could be a little bit slight vulnerability of being fickle, but over there as well, it does not create that much of the vulnerability of some very harsh kind of experiences in the matters of that planet, the energy being represented by that planet. So I mean to say, let's say for example, if your third lord becomes the planet Mercury, and if it is going to be placed in the Char nakshatra, so you might have a lot of travels at your line of work, or if your 10th lord is going to be placed in the Char or Chanchal nakshatra, or if your 7th lord is going to be placed in the Char or the Chanchal nakshatra. So this generally tells about that your partner is going to have, you know, a very forgiving kind of nature. Your partner is going to be very fond of travels. Your partner might be very skilled. Your partner might have a lot of the hobbies and all. So over here as well, the vulnerability does not come that much. Now comes the third category, so which is of the Ugra or the Krur nakshatra. Now guys, simply put, if you will try to translate it in the English, Ugra or Krur nakshatra means something which is going to be aggressive, something which is going to be little bit attacking in nature. So in this category comes the Bharni nakshatra, Magha nakshatra, and all the three Purva nakshatra, in which the Purva Falguni, Purva Shada, and the Purva Bhadrapada. So if your, let's say for example, if your third lord is placed in the Ugra or the Krur nakshatra, it is a good sign. It will make you a warrior. It will make you very competitive. It will make you very ambitious. Your 6th lord is placed in it. Your 10th lord is placed in it. Your 11th lord is placed in it. It is a good sign. Now guys, when we talk about your 7th lord being placed in the Ugra or the Krur nakshatra, so if you will go by the innate nature of these nakshatra, like Purva Falguni is considered as very comfort giving kind of nakshatra. Bharni is like all about enjoyment, pleasure, same like Purva Falguni and all. So I'm not finding it much vulnerable in terms of bitter experience. Okay, your partner might have a strong personality. You are going to be in a marriage where both of you are going to have a strong likes and dislike, strong personality. Like this could be a case that your partner will expect you to live up to the expectation. Your partner will expect from you that if you are making this much money, your partner should also make this much money. In all these kind of occasions, anniversary and something, you are going to be living up to the expectation, the kind of gifts you bring, how successful you are in the society. So all of that will matter a lot, and your partner will push you in order to meet your goals as well. But when it comes down to that, your partner is going to divorce you because you're not meeting that expectation, that possibility is less. But yes, with the Ugra or the Krur nakshatra, it is intense. Like you are heading for a marriage or for a partner who's going to have a strong personality. And again, it's not gonna be a partner who's going to, if you are mean, that person is going to, let it go or overlook it. That person, like your partner, is going to give you back in the same intensity. So be prepared for that. Now, when we talk about the Ugra, like Ugra and the Krur, we have already discussed. Next category is the Mishrit or the Sadharan nakshatra. See, it's a Hindi word which can be translated as something which is very ordinary or very which easily gets blended, like very adaptable, which is very easy to adapt and mold as per the given situation. So in this category comes the Kritika nakshatra or the Vishakha nakshatra. So again guys, when we talk about the Vishakha, with the Vishakha, there's always this possibility of having duality in your nature. And Kritika is going to be a little bit critical as well. But again guys, look at it in this way. When we talk about the planetary vibration, when we talk about the zodiac sign, when we talk about the house, it creates a circumstances or situation which we can see. But when we take our analysis to the level of the nakshatra, then we get to know the real intent. So this could be a case that, if your 7th lord is placed in the Kritika nakshatra and your partner is very argumentative, but even after that, deep inside, the person is going to be having a good intent. Even if this person is fighting, that fight is coming from a place of maintaining the honor and the dignity, not to let you down, not to humiliate you. That's what I'm trying to say. So yes, when we talk about the Mishrit or the Sadharan, like adaptable category, nature of the nakshatra, Kritika and Vishakha, they are considered as good because of their very friendly demeanor and adaptable kind of personality. Now guys, comes the next category or nature of the nakshatra, in which comes the Shipra or Utavla nakshatra. So we say this thing that, okay, this name can be translated in English as Shipra or Utavla, means something which is very short-termed or something which is very easily excitable. something which can get very easily excited and all. So generally, okay, let me control my laugh. But this is one such kind of, alignment of the nakshatra, nature of the nakshatra, which I have seen, who are very quick to jump to this conclusion. Oh my God, I found my twin flame. I need to get married. So you just gone out on date, like 2 or 3 dates, and now you have already started naming your kids, putting the name of your children. I guess I forgot, in 2.5 Men, I have seen that with Charlie Sheen lot many times. He used to drive to Vegas and get married, or I do not know. Please write it in the comment section. Help me over there. But yes, the point which I am saying, that if your 7th Lord is going to be placed in the Shipra or the Utavla nakshatra, which means very easily excitable, in which in this nature of the temperament comes the nakshatras, which are the Ashwani, Pushya, Hasta and the Abhijit. So again guys, this could be good in terms of, like, if you have very quick planets being placed over here in this category. This could be Mercury. Mercury is still good. Quick judgment making is good. I would say to an extent, Mars can be very aggressive, very impulsive. Jupiter can also be good. Rahu can be very temperamental. Rahu can be very quick, very impulsive. So again guys, it is all dependent on which nature of planet is placed over here. But if I were to say, if your 3rd Lord is going to be placed in this category, easily excitable, Shipra or the Utavla category of the nakshatra, your 3rd Lord is placed, your 10th Lord is placed, your 5th Lord is placed, your decision making, your judgment is going to be very fast, is going to be very piercing. And yes, like the way I mentioned, if your 7th Lord is going to be placed over here, not much to worry about it. But yes, your partner will expect some quick development. Like, let's say for example, you started dating someone and the partner will start, asking you for commitment, the future course of action of the relationship. So this is how it works. Now, the next category is, I would say, is the Mridu or the Matra category of the nakshatra. So now guys, in this category, like it's a Hindi word, Mridu or Matra, which means, Matra means friendly, and Mridu means which is very soft, which is very tender, soft spoken, very delicate and all. So in this category, you can put Mrigshira nakshatra, Chitra nakshatra, Anuradha nakshatra, and the Revati nakshatra. So guys, this category simply tells about that, as the name suggests, that your partner is going to be very emotion driven, like, who will give a lot of attention to the feelings and easily getting emotional, who's going to be very friendly as well. So if I were to say, out of all the category of the temperament which we have studied so far, Dhruva or the Sthir category of the nakshatra and the Mridu or the Matra category of nakshatra is the best category for your 7th Lord to be placed in. Again guys, see, again, all of that which we predict these days in these kind of astrology case studies and alignment and all, they used to be extremely valid at a time when we used to actually care for the society and all. 1 or 2 hard dasha came, 2-3 years of time of the hardship came, but the marriages still used to survive. Nowadays things are different, but even after that, it's the intent which we are trying to study. And along with that, it might also give you a filter, because guys, a lot of the times when people book their readings and consultation with me, see, that's the true intent of booking a reading, is that you need to find the answers. And more than that, astrology is all about, an astrologer works as a life coach, which gives you the direction over there that, okay, your 7th Lord is placed in this alignment, this is what your dasha is coming. So these are the filter which I'm giving it to you. If you will use that, the chances of finding success is going to be very sure shot. So look at it in this way. So I mean to say that if, let's say for example, you are looking out for some filters, if you are on a on a bride hunting kind of situation or stage, or if you're already having trouble and you're not able to find out the intent or the reason why your partner is acting whimsical, why marriage is going through these kind of situation. So based on the temperament in which your 7th Lord is placed, you can get an answer to that. In whichever temperament your 10th Lord is placed, you can strategize yourself in your professional planning like that. It might actually prove to be like a big savior. And guys, so we got to know that Mridu or Matra means tender, and the friendly category of the nakshatras are Mrigashira, Chitra, Anuradha, Revati, which is very kind-hearted, which is very much driven by the emotions, which is very friendly. Now comes the kind of, deadly kind of combination, which is about the Tikshan or the Darun kind of nakshatra. A nakshatra which is filled with vengeance. A nakshatra which is filled with the karmic energy. Now guys, over here, see, look at it in this way. See, okay, I'll give you the pros and cons of it. So let's first look at which all nakshatra comes in this category. So in the Tikshan or the Darun category comes the Adra, Ashlesha, Jeshtha and Mula. And I'm very much sure that if you have already studied it and your seventh lord is in this, you would be, oh my god, damn, I'm doomed. No, it's not like that. See guys, look at it in this way. This category of nakshatra is considered as good. It can make you very competitive, aggressive. It can also make you an achiever, a warrior, and you cannot be easily bullied. You cannot be sidelined. So from the success point of view, it's a very, very good combination. Now guys, when we talk about in the specific alignment, over there when we talk about, for example, this could be your seventh lord is placed over here. And you cannot overlook that one of the nakshatra over here is also the Gandamul nakshatra as well, and that is the only reason it is not considered as very good, because over here whenever in any alignment you will find these kind of nakshatra that just tells about that your soul or your karma is in continuity. It is not finished from the past lifetime. And guys, over here whatever you will be reaping right now in that department being represented by whichever planet is placed in this category, in this temperament nature of the nakshatra, the karmic category of the temperament. So whatever experiences you're going to have, it might be something what you are paying the bills of your deeds of the past life. Again guys, I always say this thing, same is the case with the Kalsarp. Kalsarp can be dosh as well, Kalsarp can be yoga as well. So that means, let's say for example, if you are being treated very well in the matters of the relationship or something, so this is what you have earned from the past lifetime. Or let's say for example, if you are having the repeated hardship, like your seventh lord is in itself is a malefic planet by nature. Like when we talk about like Mars, this could be Saturn. Sun is also like a mild malefic. So if your seventh lord is placed in the Tikshan or the Daru nakshatra, it is being conjunct or aspected by the malefic planet. It is placed in a difficult house in a Tikshan Daru nakshatra category as well, and you have already been in 1 or 2 failed marriages. So this could be a case. Or if you are in a marriage and being tormented, so you might be paying the bills from the past. So that's all what I can say. Again guys, every day newspaper is filled with so many horrible news. So like there is someone who is committing those acts. So it's just a payback thing. That's all what I can say. But I would say that this category, a temperament of the nakshatra, can also reward you. It is all the payback time. That's the first thing. Second thing is in terms of making you an achiever, making you a warrior, this could be a very good placement. So if your moon is placed in it, your 10th lord is placed in it, your 3rd lord, your 6th lord, your 11th lord, then it's a good placement. But 7th lord is a department, is an area where the battlefield is going to be in the bedroom only. So be very careful, be very mindful. And yes guys, before we will wind up this discussion, I also want to give you one more layer over here as well. Like the way someone was asking me that, Nipun, why don't you talk about the different pada of the nakshatra as well? So many of the Vedic astrologers look at the four padas of the nakshatra as the dharma, artha, kama, moksha as well. So simply put, the first pada can be equated as the fire quality. Second pada can be equated with the earth quality. Third pada can be equated with the air quality. And the fourth pada can be equated with the water qualities. Now what does it mean? It's very simple. When we talk about the first pada, which I mentioned, carries the fire qualities. That simply means the dharma qualities. It means the planet in that pada is going to be very righteous, very truthful, very loyal. Honesty, integrity will matter a lot. Planet which is going to be placed in the second pada, and let's say for example that planet is your second lord, that planet is already exalted, like for example, being a Taurus Lagna, your ascendant lord Venus is exalted in the 11th house. Being a Cancer Lagna, your ascendant lord Moon is exalted in the 11th house. So that simply tells about that. Over and above that, if it is going to be placed in the second pada, so it has the eartha qualities. Earth qualities simply means in terms of the possession and accumulation of the wealth, the second pada is very harmonious. If the third pada, which carries the air qualities, which simply means gains from travel, gains through connection, gains through networking, and you are going to have that savviness in your behavior, the way you talk, the way you relate with people, the way you express yourself. You have this capacity to quickly make friends, and that is the reason for your success and achievement in the life. So the planets which are placed in the third pada of the nakshatra have this capacity to behave like that. The planets which are going to be placed in the fourth pada of the nakshatra, so that carries the water qualities like empathy, emotions, feelings, nourishment can be attached with it. So yes guys, the thing is, the day guys you will start working as a full-time astrologer, you will start seeing that how the world unfold. The universe works with a perfect plan, and it is beautiful. Like so many times it happens that in a single day only I get 3 charts, and all the 3 charts have the same lagan, or people are in the same situation, in the same dasha. That is the theme being created by the transiting planets. Or like I recently did a reading, and this is what the job of an astrologer, guys. If you are getting a confirmation from multiple direction pointing in the same direction, same outcome, then that is a sure shot case. And I remember there was this chart I read recently. I'm sure if she watches this video, she will write it in the comment section. She has majority of the planets in the fourth pada, and I was like surprised when I was decoding the planets and the nakshatra placement. Like, okay, fourth pada, fourth pada, fourth pada, fourth pada. How come all the planets are there in the fourth pada? So that's what I wanted to say. After the temperament, which could be the intent, I also wanted to tell you the driving factor. So guys, the summary is that we got to know about the different temperament of the nakshatra, which simply tells about the underlying intent which drive the energy of that planet. And when we talk about the different padas, that can be seen as a driving factor. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. धन्यवाद.